everybody doing? I hope everybody's fun. I mean, what? I hope everybody's okay and good. I'm sorry.
Guys, I got this turtleneck on because I just left work, so don't judge me.
And I'm getting ready to take this hoodie off because I'm hot. Y'all look at my little pigtails.
Like, the growth, like, I love it. The locks are growing.
Period.
You know your hair tells a story, so.
Period.
I love that for you.
Thanks.
What's going on, guys? Y'all need to be tuning in.
Okay. Tune in and why is it so quiet?
Yeah.
I don't like that for me.
Wake it on up.
I don't like that.
It's alright though. We're gonna keep doing this.
Yeah.
And keep going.
Very much so. I hope y'all enjoyed our last episode. Last episode was a little bit of a different route.
It was fun.
It was fun. It was nice and light. Not too heavy. Because this stuff gets real heavy sometimes.
We back heavy.
We back heavy. Don't think we was letting y'all off the hook. Like,
we back
don't
heavy.
think it was, you feel me?
We get right into it, or
we might as well.
So today we are going to talk about expectations.
Period. Also
being grateful and a few other things, but let's start with expectations first. I was listening to a podcast today. It's called Black Girls Heal. You could, if you have an iPhone, I don't know how it works if you don't, but if you have an iPhone, you could on your podcast app search it. But she was talking about how sometimes when we make expectations for people in our mind, we kind of break our own heart in a way, because when those people aren't able to live up to those expectations you have set, you automatically become heartbroken, or you cut them off, and this, that, and the third. So
yeah, I feel like that's something that I have to work on personally, is trying not to set high expectations for people. I have a really, really bad habit of assuming everybody that I talk to is going to be my husband, or assuming everybody I talk to is going to be my best friend in the world. And like I'll have a client and like we'll have a great conversation. I'm like, oh my gosh, she must go out for drinks next weekend. I can't wait. But like, really, she's just sitting in my chair. Like, we don't got nothing else to do but me doing her nails. You feel me? Right. So we just having a conversation. But yeah, I have a really bad habit of setting high expectations for people. I also have a problem with thinking that everybody thinks like me. And I have to remind myself, not everybody was raised like me. Not everybody has the same heart as me.
Yeah. Not
everybody thinks or moves the way that I do. Oh my gosh, you know what's crazy? Wow, I literally just had this conversation with myself in the shower the other day. I promise you I did. But I kind of geared it more towards healing and saying like, I can give, like, we can give you guys as much advice as we possibly can, but I can't be mad when somebody doesn't take the advice, or I can't be mad that somebody isn't starting their healing process, because I'm pretty sure somebody felt the same way about me last year. Because there will be people that will come to me like, oh my gosh, what should I do in this situation? Or what should I do? Or what would you do? And so I tell them like, you know, I would set my boundaries and I would cut them off and I would do this and I would do that. And then in the next sentence or the next day or whatever, that person didn't take any of the advice I just told them to do. And I'm sitting there like, bro, I just told you what to do. Like, you mad up, like I'm going crazy. But then I have to sit back and realize like, okay, you can't make people move if they're not ready to move. People are only going to heal when they're ready. Honestly, you gotta be ready for it.
Yeah, it goes hand in hand, like you said, because you made an expectation in your mind, even though you didn't realize it. You made that expectation for them to do what you said, but that's not necessarily what space they're in.
Right.
So you're right. It's something that I feel like I have to work on too. Like, I, just like you said, I make fairy tales in my head like all the time. It's not even funny. And she was explaining how like in our romantic relationships and things like that, like we do that, like we put in our head like, oh, he's gonna be this, he's gonna be that, he's gonna be that. And then when they're not that, even if it's something new, you make this expectation that, oh, they're gonna act this way, they're gonna be this, they're gonna be that, and then they're not that, so then you cut them off. That's not healthy. Like, so it's not healthy. And she also was saying, what was that? What did I say earlier?
It's right there.
Right there.
We literally just talked about what we were going to talk about. Hold on, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to think about it.
I hate when this happens.
I swear it's so annoying. Mad because it's literally right there. It's like I get it and then I go to say it.
Yeah. But honestly, you just can't, when you make these expectations for people and then they don't live up to it, you feel like you'll cause yourself a heartbreak. Like, and I feel like if we don't put, it's right there, I'm getting so irritated. She was saying how when people in the beginning tell you, like,
there it is.
Yes. When people in the beginning tell you, like, I'm not a good communicator, and you're like, okay, that's fine or whatever, and then a year later or 2 years later go on and they're not communicating, you can't get upset because that person told you that they weren't a good communicator. Whether if you felt like you can fix it or not, or you being around them because you're a good communicator will make them become one, that doesn't mean that they're going to become a good communicator. They told you from the very beginning where they lack, so you have to listen to those things. And I think a lot of time we ignore those things. And that go for anybody, a relationship, a friendship, anything. Like, we have to pay attention to the signs, and we definitely have to pay attention to what people say. It's like sometimes we kind of try to like block it out when no, you have to listen.
I also feel like for one thing that I've seen a while ago, a couple of times, like hearing it, especially like on social media, is don't let somebody show you who they are more than once. That's one thing that I've seen. But so I agree with that, but I also agree with, okay, this person told me that they're a bad communicator, but at what point does it become like, okay, I'm gonna cut you off, versus, okay, we can work on something, you know what I mean? Like, at what point does it, like, let's say you're talking to somebody, like, you know, getting to know somebody, texting somebody or whatever, and they say from jump, you know, I'm not a very good communicator, you know, I'm not a good texter, or whatever the case may be. Do you give it like a time frame, or the first time around you're like, okay, you didn't communicate, so now I'm out, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
At
it's
what
like,
point?
what do you like?
Yeah,
when do you know?
like when you find that balance.
I seen a post too that this kind of goes with it, and they were saying how I am having such freaking thought. It was right there while you was talking. I was saying, say it.
Another thing. So like a question I guess I'll have would be, when, like, how do you differentiate between like having high expectations for people and that just being your own personal standards? Like, okay, so I expect the man that I am involved with to have a relationship with God, or at least know God. But is that like not too high of a standard? Because I don't believe in too high of a standard. I guess I'm trying to say, like, if he comes to me and says, you know, I don't have a good relationship with God, should I just take that and be like, all right, I'm out? Or should I work with him in finding God? Because I've had somebody work with me in finding God, you know what I mean? So, like, what do y'all think?
I feel like for that, they have to be open and willing to. If they're totally closed out, like, I've had a guy tell me before, you know, I don't believe in God or whatever, but I'm willing to learn about him if you're able to teach me about him. So that's something I could work with. But if you just like, I don't believe in God,
and that's it,
now we have issues. But also there's other religions out there too. I am more of a person, like, I know that could get complicated, but you need to believe in something. You need to believe in a higher power some way, somehow. Like, you need to have some sort of belief. For me, I do want my husband to believe in God. I want us to have the same religious belief, but I know sometimes it can become a point where, like, you might meet a Muslim and, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It all depends on the person that you are. So I think that could become tricky. But she was saying, the tweet, they were saying how when somebody does something, so for example, back to the communication thing, saying they said they don't communicate well. Now you guys are in a relationship and they did something where they didn't communicate, and now they're apologizing. Okay, you can forgive them and accept their apology, but now you need to figure out what they have done differently from after what they did. So if nothing is being done differently, then it's an issue.
Like, if you're just apologizing with no action behind it,
right,
and you're not making that change, that's when it's like, all right, now I'm cutting you off the break.
Right.
Now you got to go. You get in the boot.
So I guess that could come with knowing the standards and go with
and
that
knowing
too.
like when to cut ties.
Yeah.
Same thing. Moral of the story is, y'all, try. I'm not gonna say don't. I'm gonna say try, because I do it all the time. Try not to set too high of an expectation for people, because
you won't get your feelings hurt.
You're gonna get your feelings hurt. Not most likely, but sometimes you're gonna get your feelings hurt. And not everybody is in the same season as you. Not everybody is in the same space as you.
Not everybody think like you.
Yeah.
And
so you might be ready to heal, but your best friend ain't.
And that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. You just gotta.
And maybe you gotta take a break from your best friend. Not that, you know, it's still your best friend, but sometimes you need to be surrounded by people that is in that same season. And if they're not, if you can still do it and be around them, that's great. But if not, if you really need to just cut everything out, cut everything off, so you could really lock in with yourself, that is okay.
I feel like, though, when it comes to that, like trying to heal, like if you and another person are on different paths, I feel like, I don't know, if y'all disagree, let us know in the comments. But I feel like isolation is necessary. Like, I do feel, not complete isolation. Like me right now, I feel like I'm in a complete isolation period. Like I haven't been out in a long time. I don't really talk to anybody. I haven't been on social media, none of that. But that's because the people that I was around, they're just not in the same space as me. And I feel like if I go and hang with these people, we're not going to connect on the same level, because we're not in the same headspace. So it's like, me personally, I just think that isolation is needed when you're in this stage that we're both in. Like, like she was saying, like if you feel like you can have your healing journey while simultaneously being, you know, with your best friend all the time who isn't in the same space as you, then that's cool. But me personally, I just don't see it. I don't see it.
So I feel like with that, I feel like you gotta know how to control that.
You gotta be disciplined.
Yeah, you gotta be disciplined. I feel like, because I'm an isolator too, I will isolate. I will cut everybody off and just be like, I'm being by myself. Like, I need to be by myself. But you don't want to get too deep into it, because too deep into it sometimes, even though like your isolation is different. I'm saying because I know where you're at. But like, if you isolate too much, you might fall into a depression almost. If that's where you're at. I can't explain what I'm trying to say, but so I think just knowing the person that you are.
Yeah.
So if you know that, no, for me to stay on this path, I can't be around people, I got to change my environment, I got to do different things, then that's what it takes to keep you there. And that's okay. Just as well as if you're going to go out here sometime. I seen a post. It was like, you don't have to, in your healing stage, is going out doesn't mean you're not healing, blah, blah, blah. You can go out and still very much be healing. You might just not be in the same environments that you were once in. And you may sometimes find yourself back in those environments, and that's a reminder like, oh heck no, I'm not,
this is not for me anymore. That was us.
Right, like
that was us for real.
This is not me. Like every time I make a mistake and go into an environment where I get
so irritated with myself.
I just be like,
I'm not even gonna lie. I get real irritated. I'm like, bro, why am I even here?
Yeah.
Knowing I don't even want this shot. Like, y'all, I'm not drinking no more.
I drank this weekend. I was like, this is why I don't drink.
I'm sorry. Give me, I don't know. I was gonna say maybe I'll take a shot, but I don't know. It just don't sit right with me no more.
I be sick.
I be sick during, after.
I be sick.
I
like just was like, I'm going down to not drinking as much, because I don't want to just be like, oh, I'm not drinking cold turkey, but I'm going down to not drinking as much. Like I have wine in my house, it's not even finished, and I'm like, dang girl, you usually have your wine finished. My wine not finished. Like, and I only drink this weekend because I went out, but went like out to eat, had like a margarita or something. But no, definitely
I only drink for real when I go out. Like, it's a bottle of wine that's been sitting in there for a week. I ain't touched it yet. I gotta pay you for that. I forgot.
No, you don't.
I'm going to anyway.
Please don't.
Sorry, I'm going to. Anyways.
But
don't. But yeah, y'all. So I really don't drink like that anyway. Like if I'm going out, like when I go out, I get drunk. Like that's just that. But when I'm home, like I could chill in the house and not have nothing to drink. Like it's never, you feel me? I'm not no alcoholic or no, we're not no alcoholics or nothing. That's crazy.
I don't like how it make me feel. I be sick. I be sick.
Like out for the count for the full day.
Like ugh.
I don't want it. I don't like. Just keep it. Give me. You know what I liked at that one restaurant we went to with Kiki? I like the Paloma. I don't know if y'all ever had a Paloma, but that was good. And I like that. I think I'm just gonna go everywhere I go. I'm like, do y'all have Palomas? I also want to try a lemon drop. I don't really know what that is.
Everybody been talking about that lately. I've never had a lemon drop.
Yeah, you know who they said Applebee's has lemon drop shots.
I heard you could buy them too. Like
really?
I think Jess had lemon drops the other day.
But yeah. Anyways,
our next
being
grateful.
We got this topic. My candle says today I will be grateful. It's a lavender and eucalyptus candle.
That's what made me be like, And it's just like we have to be grateful for the season that we're in. So even if your situation isn't the ideal situation that you want for yourself right now, you still have to make the best out of your situation so that you can be blessed, so that God can bless you. Because if you're not grateful for what you have now, why should he give you more?
Right, why would he give you more? Right. I was literally about to say that same exact thing.
Like, if you want a new house, okay, make the place you have right now, even if it's a small environment, make that homely, make it nice for yourself. Like, don't redecorate,
treat it any kind of way.
Right, redecorate, make it like you would do the house that you want. If you have a car, you want a new car, take care of the one you have. You have to take care of the things that you have so that you could be blessed with more. Because if you don't even take care of that, why would God want to give you more?
I actually have something like this written down in my notes because I watched it in a Know For Sure podcast. And they actually, I think, talked about this. Honestly, it was an older episode, I believe, where they said they went to a restaurant or something like that, and one of the workers was just really nasty, really rude. Like, you could tell that they didn't want to be there, they didn't like their job or whatever. But like, it's important, like she was saying, to be appreciative of what you have right now and to be good at what you're at right now. You know what I mean? So like, if you're in a job right now that you absolutely hate going there, you don't like none of the people, you don't like the work or nothing, that you want something so much bigger and so much better, but like she said, God's not going to bless you with more if he sees that you're not even appreciative of what he's already given you. Like, you have to remember that the place that you're in right now is something that you prayed for 6 months ago, a year ago. Like, just sit and think about that. Once you start getting down and you start feeling like, dang, I'm not in this place, I don't have this money, I don't have this, I don't have that, just sit and be like, well, a year ago, even if like a year ago you were still in the same position you're in now, when you were a little kid, you probably couldn't even imagine or fathom the person that you are right now. Right. So like, when you start thinking like that, just sit and think to yourself like, I used to pray for times like this. You feel me? Like, this is what you wanted before.
No, for real. Like, it's crazy because I had this conversation the other day. That's what made me really want to talk about it, because I was like, oh, I want this. Like, I just feel like at 27 I should be somewhere different. And the person was like, but you gonna get there, like, what do you mean? Da, da, da. And I'm just like, no, but back to expectations. It's funny because this is not with somebody else, but the expectations that I had for myself at 27, that's crazy how this tied in together.
No, for real.
Because I'm not there, I feel like I let myself down. When in reality, it could be waiting for me on the other side of the door, but I'm not being grateful for what I have now. So I've been telling myself, you know, just thanking God, like, every day. Like, let me just thank God for what I have now, my job I have now, everything that I have now, so that he can bless me with what else I want. But I didn't even realize how I was being ungrateful. So
I think being ungrateful is such an easy thing to do because you don't really realize it. Like, a lot of people go day to day complaining about a lot of different things and don't even realize it until you sit down and be like, oh wait, hold on, that was a pretty negative thing of me to say. You know what I mean? Like, you just gotta really just take a second. It don't take long to just say thank you, literally. And
you gotta be careful what you ask for. Like, for example, somebody saying, oh, I want to save money, I want to save money, I want to save money. Okay, and then God put you in a position to do that, and you like, Wait.
You still fumbling.
Wait. This is not how I wanted to save it, but no, you asked to save money, so I'm gonna put you in this position, and this is what you're gonna do. This is how you're gonna save money, or anything like that goes for anything. You gotta be careful what you ask for.
You gotta be really intentional.
Be
intentional when you speak. Be careful of what you say. Be careful of what you think too. Not every thought is yours. So when you're speaking out, when you're praying to God and or to whoever you believe in, just be really specific. That's what I try to do. I try to be very specific about what I ask for, because I found that I started asking for things and he started delivering these things, but they weren't in the fashion that I expected or wanted. So like, I'm praying to God every night and I'm writing in my journal every night, God, please rid me of any situations and relationships, platonic or romantic, that do not serve me. Like, I don't want them. And all of a sudden I got no friends. I don't got no friends, I don't got no man, I don't got nothing, you feel me? Like, but it's what I asked for. And another thing is, you got to pay attention. You have to pay attention, because he's always going to show up. He might not be when you wanted it to, and it might not be when you expect it, but he's always going to be on time, because it's always on his time. When you're asking for these things, you got to pay attention, because you might say, God, rid me of these situations, rid me of these unnecessary irrelevant relationships, and he's going to keep showing you this one person or these couple of people who are irrelevant to the person that you are now, and you're going to keep letting them back in your life because you're not paying attention to what he's giving you. And that's my testimony for the day. Okay, so I'm always finding something controversial and stuff on Twitter. Like, Twitter always got that. So this says, don't marry a man unless you would be proud to have a son exactly like him. What's your thoughts on that? Oh, that was good. That was. I forgot I screenshotted that earlier. I like that one. She said, don't marry a man unless you would like to have a son that's exactly like him. I like that. You would be proud to have a son that's exactly like him. I like that a lot. I really, really do. If you don't, how do I put this? I mean, I honestly, I think it's very self-explanatory. If you see this person and you don't think that you would be okay saying, yeah, that's my son, y'all, and like that's my kid, you feel me? Like, if you don't think that you would be proud to show him off as your child and as a product of who you are, and as a what's the word, God help me, what's the word, as a reflection, that's the word I'm looking for. If you don't think you will be proud of showing this person as a reflection of you, why are you involved with them? You feel me? Because I feel like your partner is going to ultimately be a reflection of you. If you have a partner who's out here in the streets gang banging and hunching on everybody that's walking, and you don't want to be perceived that way by other people, why are you with somebody like that? So I'm going to read you what this comment said. I'm nervous. He said, good character is not inherited or passed on genetically unless you meant physical appearance. So do you agree with that? Good character is not passed on genetically. Is not inherited or passed on genetically unless you meant physical appearance. I think when it comes to character, I mean, I'm going to raise my son, and the way I raise my son is going to be a reflection of my character as well as his father's character. That's why I felt like this was such a tricky, like, yeah, like physical appearance didn't even. This was such a tricky, like, for them to even like tweet, because when I first read it, I was like, that makes sense. But then I was like, okay, so say somebody had a kid with someone that is not good or whatever, and their kid comes out amazing. So what happens then? But I'm reading it as the type of men you want to go after, or the type of woman you want to go after. Is that the type of kid you want to have? That's how I'm reading it as. Like, those qualities, like you said. That's how I'm taking it. But when they came back and commented, I'm like, okay, well, if you're thinking about it that way, that makes sense, because the kid could come out completely different than the parent. Okay. But I don't know. Y'all let us know what y'all think.
Yeah, y'all let us know.
What's the first one? Don't marry. Read it again.
Don't marry a man unless you would be proud to have a son like him. And then a girl commented and said, men, don't marry a woman if you will be proud to have a daughter like her.
So what do y'all think on that?
Let us know, because I felt like that was like really tricky. I was like, at first I was like, okay, I understand that, but then when somebody else commented, I was like, you got it right.
Right. Another thing, when it comes to something like that in dating, one thing that I think about often is a lot of people are in relationships with people that they wouldn't even be friends with. I think that a lot of people are in relationships with people that they don't even like. You might love them. I think there's a difference between liking somebody and loving somebody. I think you can love somebody without liking them. Because love is a choice, and I may choose to love you. But
I was trying to find the tweet again.
It doesn't necessarily mean that I like or tolerate it. You know what I mean? So that's why I think that friendship level, or even just that dating level before you decide to take it into a relationship, is so important, because you really got to get to know this person. Like, is this even somebody that I want to be with? Like,
yeah, it was a tweet like that before too, and it was like how people just jump into the relationships. Like, you're not even getting to know the person first. That's why you're in relationship with people you don't even know, because you didn't get to know them. You just jump into the relationship. I want to be your friend first, because I feel like when you got a friendship with someone, like, you have a bond forever, whether it don't work out or not. We really got to know each other on this level, so we're gonna have a bond forever.
Sorry.
Even if we not together. And I feel like that's way more important than the title. Your bond. Like, you need a bond with somebody, because if you just jump into the relationship because, oh, I like him, I like her, and we having fun, and we sneaky linking, we doing this, and y'all just jump into the relationship, y'all don't even know each other for real. Do y'all even know each other's favorite color? Exactly. What y'all like to eat? Like, it's just like, I don't know.
That's our favorite thing to do. Exactly. You don't know.
Like, you gotta be my best friend. Like, we gotta be able to go out together. Like, I gotta be able to do everything with you that I can do with my friends and my family.
You know, have you ever seen those videos where, like, they do, like, public interviews or whatever, and it's always a couple, and so they'll ask the guy. It's usually the guy. I have seen some where they ask the girl, but usually they ask the guy, like, what is she allergic to, or what's her favorite food, or like another one where they ask the girl, what's your husband's or your boyfriend's favorite football team, and she named a random football team, and he was like, no, it's Arizona. She probably said, like, New York Giants, and he was like, no, Arizona. Like, that's how I feel. Like, that's how I think that goes in with it. Like, y'all don't even be knowing these folks. Like, what?
And then some people stay together too long because of the bond. That could be it's so tricky. You gotta know when it's like, you gotta know when to let go and when not to, almost too. Because it could be a situation where it's a really good, like, you guys are meant to be together. You gotta just find what you could do to work it out so that you could be together. And there's other situations where you just need to leave each other alone.
Just leave each other alone. Just leave that man alone.
It's kind of hard to figure out what. I don't even know how to go about finding that out. I'm still learning.
Because I'm definitely the relationship person. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to y'all. I am, okay, he's my boyfriend. Like, very much be Simone tone.
Me too. Like, I find, like, I like relationships. Like, I like dealing with one person.
I don't like dating. I don't like talking. I don't like getting to know multiple. First of all, I can't. I literally just cannot keep up. I will end up not texting anybody back. So I'm very much relationship girl. I'm very much, oh, he sent me $5. Okay, yeah. Wedding is in May. So yeah, so I'm learning to do the friend thing part, because I know that that part is important. And like she said too, the friend part is so important, because even if y'all don't work out, if y'all can have that bond after the fact, then y'all did at least a little something.
Exactly.
Right? A little bit something. When I said, I was thinking, how do you feel? This is probably gonna be such a long video. How do you feel about, like, being friends with exes? I
did a sweetie face.
Personally, I think being friends with exes is What did that say?
Something, Kim.
Why did we leave? Ew, that was scary. I was in the computer. The camera said something.
It said something. I don't know what.
But it's still recording,
okay,
so
we good.
Whatever. I think being friends with your exes is tricky, or being in a relationship with somebody who is friends with their ex is tricky. Because personally, I think there's a difference between being cordial with your ex and being friends with your ex. Mm-hmm. If you and your ex are going out to eat every other week, okay, now you're dragging it. Now you're dragging it. But if you and your ex hit each other up on some, hey, how you doing? How's your mom? You feel me? Like, then I personally don't see an issue with that. As long as you know when to draw that line. Like, all right, now you're dragging it. You feel me? I think that being able to be friends or cordial with somebody that you used to deal with shows a level of maturity to me. Mm-hmm. I think, like, not every relationship has to end terribly and you hate each other. Like, it's okay to end amicably.
And when you, like we said before, have a friendship or you have a bond or you guys been through a lot or whatever, you may still want to continue on that friendship. Mm-hmm. But you gotta really be done with that person. Mm-hmm. It's not like, that's where it gets tricky when you're not really done with that person. If you're not done with that person, then no, you cannot be friends.
Right.
No, it's not gonna work. And then some people you just can't, some exes you just know, I can't be friends. Like, it's gonna be more than friends. Like, so I guess it all depends on you and that person's relationship, because see, for me, I wouldn't allow my man to we ain't doing that.
We ain't doing that.
Y'all can be cool, cordial, hey, what's up, but what y'all need to talk for, do all of this for, go out here for, like, y'all not friends at that point. If it's becoming more, that's not friends. So I would say being friends with an ex is tricky. I am guilty. But I would just say I wouldn't do it.
She said 0 out of 10 do not
I
recommend.
wouldn't do it, because no, you can't. Like,
you can't.
Some people, I say, like, my not recent ex, my other exes, like, I don't talk to them. But if I was to see them, like, I see somebody, if I see one of my first boyfriend's family, all love. Like, if I was to see him, it'd be all love. Like, I could really be friends with him. Like, he could call me and we could just talk and I wouldn't even be fazed by it or anything like that.
Or think anything of it.
Yeah. So I think I could be friends with him. I think it all depends. Time frame.
The space y'all had.
Yeah, like, it depends. It really depends. Because I have friends that are friends with their ex. But I always feel like it's going to be a little flirty there. Like, you might say something.
Yeah, that's a real sticky situation.
Yeah,
it's a sticky situation. I feel the same way with, like, your partner having a best friend. I feel like that's a sticky situation too. Me, again, I'm such an optimistic and hopeful person, y'all. Like, I have so much faith in humanity. So, like, if my man has a best friend that he's known before, like, I'm not gonna come in between your relationship. You feel me? Like, I'm just not that person. Like, if I see y'all interacting with each other and it doesn't look like anything more, like, if I have no reason to believe that it's anything more, like, if you don't give me a reason to not trust you, I'm not gonna make something up in my head, like, no, that's gotta go, like, that's a no. You feel me? But if y'all do a little bit too much, like, I be seeing people on TikTok with their girl best friend and their boy best friend. I don't like it.
You know, it's boundaries that gotta be set for sure. I have guy best friends. I have two. I don't talk to one that much, but I have Gary. Gary's my guy best friend, whatever. And
it's the whatever for me.
And I don't know. I never had issues with his females like that, except when he be doing dumb stuff. But, like, I never really had issues with his females. But that's really my best friend. Like, no,
that's like, how I feel about Justin.
That's my best. Like, he tells me everything. Like,
everything. I swear. Like,
why would I even want to? No. Like,
that's how I feel about Justin. Justin, I love you, boy. But I promise you, y'all don't have to worry about me and Justin. Like, I remember me and Justin was at Grill 2, and Justin's the only guy in our friend group. So we was out at Grill 2. It was me, a couple other girls, and Justin. And I'm dancing, whatever. Justin on the side hyping me up. I'm not dancing on Justin. Justin just hyping me or whatever. And then this other guy who was like in like another party or whatever, he wanted to come talk to me, but he thought I was with Justin. So he said to Justin, he was like, "That's you?" And Justin was like, "Nah, go ahead, you good." And I feel like, exactly, like, this is my brother. Like, no, I'm good.
No, and I had another guy that was like, my brother, I miss my brother. It's not happening, but that was my bro. Like, he told me everything.
When we say everything, I mean everything.
But we was close. Like, people probably would be like, but it was never like that. Like, he was my brother. Like, he just told me everything. I told him everything. Like, I could always call him. And I feel like you kind of need guy best friends sometimes because they're gonna tell you like it is. Like, my brother, we ain't talking right now, but we're gonna talk to him. I'm manifesting that we talk to him because I miss him. But he kept it real. He ain't go for none of that. He didn't want me with nobody. Like, don't know, because he felt like I was such a better person that I didn't need to like deal with nothing that was beneath me. Like,
that's how Justin is. He be like, though, the other day Justin called me and then he was like, "Wait, I'm gonna call you back." He hangs up real quick and then he called me back and he was like, "All right, it was just mad niggas in the car. I didn't want them like trying to talk to you because then I'm gonna have to dub them all for you." Like, dang, what if I wanted to see them?
Right.
What if
that's how my brother was. He just like,
one thing about a guy best friend, they gonna tell you, like, they gonna hurt your feelings just to be hurting my feelings.
Hurt
what?
Your feelings.
I'm like, okay, feelings. Justin, get on my car because now you're making me mad.
My brother used to be like, "You dumb." Like,
heavy on the "you dumb." That's dumb. Why would you do
that?
Dumb? Like, what do you mean by that? I'm like, no, maybe you read the message wrong, so now I gotta call you, and then I call him. That's still dumb. Like, okay.
I remember I told him about this one boy I had just started talking to.
Okay.
I was like, "Yeah, he from here. I really like him." He was like, "He gonna break your heart. He ain't gonna do nothing. And you gonna be crying to me." And why it really happened? I wasn't crying, but I was like, "Nah, he really did. He wasn't what I thought he was gonna be." And he told me, he was like, "That ain't it." He was like, "They gotta meet me first." Like, who is you? You
that's awesome. Dad. Oh my gosh, yeah. You know, Austin swear he my dad.
Right now, I got no real like guy friends in my life that I talk to every single day though, but yeah, I still love them.
Yeah, for sure. I don't talk to my guy friends every day. Me and Justin just recently started talking like more often because we catch up every couple of months. But yeah, I haven't talked to my guy friends every day since like middle school, honestly. One thing about us, we gonna go off on a tangent. I don't even remember what we was talking about.
We just be going and going and going. So we touched on expectations, grateful, relationships. Like,
sure did. We
did it up today. Not gonna lie. So y'all need to comment below and let us know what you want to hear, talk about. Just let us know, y'all.
Yes.
Let us know.
It's been real. Bye.